What's up guys, I'm Dr. Silas, back here again in the channel. I'm a PGY3. I'm doing my pediatric residency, almost about to get graduated. I have Daniel here, an amazing person. Thank you so much for being here, Daniel.
Hey man, you're welcome, and hi everyone.
I have met a few other people from Ghana as well. Everyone is amazing. We would love to know about your medical school journey. How was it?
Yeah, so like you said, I schooled in Ghana. That's why I had my medical school as well. It's in West Africa. And yeah, getting into medical school was a tough one, but then I was able to get the grades. And again, I wanted to get to medical school because, you know, it's prestigious to be a doctor.
Of course.
And when we were all young, when you were young and we were sick, it was always nice that you go, the doctor sees to you, and in a few days you get better. So we all wanted to also aspire to be something like that.
That's right.
And in medical school, it was tough, you know. You literally don't have a lot of vacation days as other students, and you're always having to go to class. But then what made me want to continue was at several points in time we got to interact with patients on the floors, in the community, and I saw the impact the medical team had on these patients or these people and their families, and that always kept me, you know, going. And
Right.
look,
I mean, there is always a trade-off. If you want to be a doctor, there is always a trade-off, right? You have to be away from your family. You have to miss a lot of fun things that you normally would do. So, after medical school, did you also start working there, or how does it work?
Yeah, so it's more like an automated process in Ghana. Most of us are absorbed by the government after medical school.
Right.
And you have to start an internship. So you do that, and then for like 2 years, and then when you're done, you sort of become a general practitioner, which we call it like a medical officer. So you can see every type of patients after your internship.
I think that's how we also work back home. After we get graduated from medical school, we are allowed to work, and we work there, and we see as a general, I'd say PCP, like PCP here.
Yeah,
medical
like a
doctors,
PCP.
right? And we get to see all sorts of patients, and then from there we get experience, and then we can go for residency. What was your reason to do USMLE?
Yeah, I mean, there are residency programs in Ghana. I wanted to come to the US because I wanted the exposure in terms of, you know, the US is more advanced. So during my training, I knew if I train in the US, I would get to see more sophisticated therapy, okay, and then also a wider variety of cases, right? So that was one of the reasons I wanted to come train in the US. Yeah.
That's
probably the main reason I wanted to come.
Right. That's one of the strongest factor that pulls every IMGs here in United States, I think, and most of the medical advances also take place in US. There are a lot of research centers where they find new sort of therapies, new sort of investigations, and new ways of helping people as well. And in fact, in pediatrics, they find new preventive cares as well. So you're right, and this is the, I would say, best place to come for if you want to learn about all those advances, right?
Perfectly agree.
So for me, and for most of the USMLE, aspirants as well, there are certain setbacks, there are certain difficulties they have during their USMLE journey. Did you have any sort of difficulties, or do you feel like there are certain difficulties that especially Ghanaian medical doctors do face?
Yeah, let me speak for myself.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean that represents most of the people.
I guess. As well. Yeah, because what happened is I decided to take this journey after medical school when I was working.
Okay.
So the main difficulty was studying for the steps whilst working. Okay, so because especially I was done with my internship then, and I was just starting to work like as a PCP. So you already gonna spend so much time at work,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to make time for your family, social life, your friends, and everything. And then
That's
now you have to pass these steps,
Right.
Right. So that was a big challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the greatest challenge I had.
Right.
Yeah, around that time.
I mean that's also another trade-off if you want to do USMLE as well. Like you have to have a dedicated time to study. At the same time, you also have to work
Yeah.
because you need money to take all these steps, and that's a lot of money.
Exactly.
And if you have financial support, then it's easier. But then if you don't have, then that's a big problem as well.
Yeah.
With your aim to get that kind of training, you need to have that kind of patience as well. You need to invest time, you need to invest money, and everything is at the end worth it to spend so much effort.
Yeah, definitely. It's worth it. And like you said, you need to also take your time, because if you also rush and then you mess up with any of the steps, that could be the end of your ambition, right?
Of course. Having said that, what were the resources? I mean, how did you prepare your USMLE?
Yeah, so I mean, I asked around, and there were so many resources being thrown at me, right? But so there was a UL, the MBMEs. There were videos,
Right.
Some people also talked about Anki, flashcards, a whole lot. But I think I ended up in a first aid, of course, but I ended up using the UL and the MBMEs like for 90% of my preparation. And then I used videos as well for the remaining like 10% of my preparation.
Right. And I think it's enough, I guess. When we took these steps, it was not long back though. They were enough, but now if you have more resources, it's privilege for you. But then sticking with the basic stuffs like first aid and UWorld and NBME should be enough, I guess.
Yeah. I guess it depends on the person, but I think for most people, it should be enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're already here in the US and enjoying the residency. Has it met your expectations? How has the residency treating you so far?
Yeah, definitely, man. My expectations have been met. Like I said, I wanted to see more variety, more advanced therapeutics, like a more comprehensive, evaluation. Because in a low resource setting like Ghana, we don't have so many resources, so your evaluations are usually limited to clinical skills, and then sometimes you get to do some labs and imaging. But here you have no limits, so you get to have the whole set of evaluations, and I'm happy to see everything like in real time, and my expectations have been met.
I mean, that's we learn so many things in textbooks, and then we are limited with the resources and only based on the clinical judgment. That is difficulties of being in developing countries, I guess, for everyone. But here, on top of that clinical knowledge, you get to exercise all the recent advancement as well, of course.
Yeah, and you also get to see the outcomes for the kids we see in terms of all of these advanced stuff. We get to see the kids getting better, getting happy. So my expectations have been met.
How is New York? Do you like New York?
Beside the safety issue, which so far has been okay, I love New York a lot, like because of what you are saying. The place is so diverse, so people are used to seeing people like you, because you're not the first person to be here, right?
Yeah.
And luckily for me, there's a Ghanaian community here in Brooklyn, in Bronx, in Queens, so it makes life quite easy.
And it's necessary as well for your mental health, and you do a lot of hospital residency work and study everything, but at the end you are more than a doctor, more than a resident, and you need community.
You're also human, right?
Yeah. Right.
And then you also get to try stuff from other cultures in
That's
New York.
true.
There are so many cultures in New York.
That's true. You get to test every kind of cuisines, I'd say, from different community, and in fact in our residency as well there is a lot of diversity.
So much diversity.
So people from different countries are there, and it's like a family.
Yeah.
And it has been amazing so far, at least for me.
Yeah. And again, coming to New York, I didn't also have to worry about transport, right?
Of course, that's
The public transport system is, there are buses everywhere. So
right.
I love that about New York.
Yeah, it's easier part. You don't have to buy. That reduces your expenses. But then the other thing that increases your expenses is expenses itself.
Yeah.
The housing is so expensive.
Yeah. Man, housing is very expensive here.
Yeah, having said that, I think we have talked a lot. I don't want to make this video very long, and I think we have covered most of the part. Okay. We would love to hear your suggestions regarding how was your interview and what are your suggestions for upcoming residents, or preparation for USMLE, if you have any suggestion for medical schools students.
Yeah, man, the first thing I'm gonna say is, once you decide that you wanna start this journey, just start. Because what happens to most people is, okay, I'm gonna do it, and by the time you realize the year is over, you've not started anything. And then next 2 years, and then eventually you're like, hey, let me just start residency in my home country, or let me just forget about this. So once you decide that you want to do it, just start. If it means paying for step one, pay. Because once you invest your money,
that's right,
now you want to be serious about it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm gonna say. And then do a lot of networking. Like if you're from Ghana, for instance, you'll be lucky because there are a lot of Ghanaians who are already here. So try and reach out to people, find out how they went about everything, their journey. It helps a lot because if I know, hey, this guy came from the same school as me, and then he was successful and this is what he did, okay, now I have a template I'm also going to follow, and it makes life easy than you having to figure out everything on your own. Right, so try and do a lot of networking. That helps a lot as well. And don't be hard on yourself.
That's true.
You're gonna have setbacks. You're gonna have challenges. I think Shay is gonna tell you he's had a lot of challenges. I've had a lot too. Right. So don't be so hard on yourself. Just take your time, and then you're gonna make it.
Yeah. I mean, challenges is what makes you a better person, I guess. And you have to accept the challenges and try to tackle those, and you'd be there, and you'd achieve whatever you want if you are ready to accept challenges. And challenges, like you said, making deadlines, setting deadlines, and also taking steps ahead, like paying for your USMLE exams. It's a good way to start your journey, because you definitely can do it. It's nothing that a medical student cannot do here in USMLE journey. It's just putting a little bit of effort and investing some time, and after that you would be there to apply for USMLE, and you would be able to match, and everyone is able to match if you are a little bit more dedicated. So get started. I hope the suggestions that Daniel gave are amazing, and they are amazing, and of course hopefully they will help you to make decisions in future as well. And if you guys have any other questions, you can just let us know, and then we'll try to answer you in next video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Daniel.
All right, man, always nice talking to you.
Right.
All right,
thank you, guys.